Harry, this is the Lord Potato, and this is, well, what if Naruto was the reincarnation of Zaraki Kenpachi and was neglected? Part 2. Now, part 1 was one that I didn't do a thumbnail because, if you want to know, I just kind of passed out that thing where I wanted to make a thumbnail, but nah. Also, I really talked really fast in that one because I had to go somewhere else. Because, yeah, which I was correct. I had to go somewhere. But other than that, so yeah, this is part 2. I still gotta go somewhere else today. But other than that, I have a couple of minutes. I have like a good 30 minutes to probably do this. But yeah, I'm also should mention that I am not extremely tired. Just like my eyes kind of hurt. But yeah. So, what to else say? Oh yeah. Go subscribe to Anime Center, Iconic What Ifs, Obito What Ifs, and yeah. Links will be in the description, but yeah. Now, we'll go into this What If. Into where I last left off. After Naruto managing to lose, his shit, or not even lose his shit, he just had enough of everyone's shit, so of course, he's ready to kill people, which he does. He murders so many people. But of course, this is where Minato Namikaze appears, with his 2 flying Raijins right now in his hand, and multiple arms behind him. That's where Naruto smiles and says, "Hello there, father." Right now with this evil grin. That's where Minato says, "Naruto, what did I tell you? You're supposed to let them beat you up, kill you, you damn demon." That's where Naruto says, "Oh, if I'm a demon, then let me show you." This is where Naruto rushes at Minato. Minato had to use the flying Raijin really fast because he saw Naruto's speed. A double increase every time Naruto stomps the ground. This is where Minato has to dodge, and this is where Naruto swings the blade. It cuts 3 Ambu's heads off so fast. This is where Naruto says, "Damn, don't run away, you little bitch. Come here, let me kill you real fast." This is where Minato says, "How is this kid even impossible? I managed to seal his chakra away." Wait, that reminds me. This hand signs to seal off more of his chakra. This is where he goes to hand signs and not hand sign. He sends 1 hand sign and he says Kai. And this is where it doesn't he doesn't shoot out chakra from himself or anything. He's trying to seal chakra from Naruto. This is where Naruto, he doesn't care if the chakra is being suppressed. Naruto's power is increasing. Even when the chakra's being suppressed, something else is rising up in Naruto. Not chakra, but spiritual pressure. This is where a spiritual pressure just comes over everyone. This is where Naruto's spiritual pressure is so strong, so powerful, so potent. At the same time, so dark. This is where Minato doesn't know what this is. Multiple Ambus are right now scared shitless because they can't move that much. This is where Naruto rushes towards the Ambus because he had enough of Minato to keep running away. So he rushes to the Ambus, cutting them down. Every last one of them. One of them did try to slice at Naruto, which the sword got stuck into Naruto's kind of ribcage, and Naruto just stabbed the man and ripped his head off. This is where he took the blade out from his chest and rushes at the other arms, slicing them, cutting them down, murder them. This is where Minato realized that if he keeps trying to steal a Naruto chakra, which he guesses this is not chakra, this is just Naruto brutal strength, but he doesn't know anything about what to call spiritual pressure. So yeah. So this is where Naruto saying, die, come on, fight me and kill me, you pathetic weaklings. This is where he's acting more like Kenpachi, and of course this is where so many people are trying to kill Naruto, like throwing kunai shurikens. Naruto gets stabbed, of course he rushes towards the enemy and cuts them down instantly. This is where Kushina overheard about this kind of destruction. This is where Menma and Enma saw this, because, not Enma. So yeah, one is called Menma. For this one, there's 2 brothers for Naruto to have. One is called Enma, or not Enma. He's actually the middle child, and of course, Menma is the older child. So of course, he sees this and he says, "Damn, that demon is right now killing. I hope Father will be able to defeat him." This is where Kushina says, "Yeah, he'll be able to defeat him." Enma stays silent. Enma he doesn't really hate Naruto. He never hated Naruto. He doesn't hate, well, Naruto, but he hates the village. He hates everyone. The fact that they kind of hurt his youngest brother. And he hates the fact that his oldest brother is always saying that that demon should die. Do they not realize that they name him Enma? Basically the king of hell. Because Enma and this brother is actually extremely smart. He went to the library. Even being what's it called, 6 years old, he went to the library to read on a lot of things. He realized that Enma is actually called the king of hell. They, mostly Minato and Kushina weren't thinking of that name. They were mostly thinking of Naruto because he was mostly a demon. And this is where Enma says, these people are so idiotic. My parents are idiotic. My family's an idiotic morons. He's thinking in his head, how the hell am I the king of hell and supposed to be the king of hell and calling my youngest brother a demon? These people are idiotic. That's where, this is where he hears a voice saying, oh, so you're supposed to be the king of hell. Interesting. Well, that name doesn't really suit you. That should have been going towards that other kid. But I can help you get rid of so many people. This is where Emma says, no thanks, Mr. Fox. I know you always want to get out, kind of kill people, and yeah, which I will let you out, but there'll be a little problem. What's that? I don't want any more causing pain to my brother, my youngest brother. But seeing him go this, probably snapping already out from people, it's kind of annoying for people. Is there a way for him to activate chakra without using the suppression seal? This is where Kurama says, no. Seals are my biggest weakness, and even the Uzumaki genes are my biggest weakness. Luckily, that wood style died a long time ago in the Senju bloodline, so there's no wood style. That's also my biggest weakness. It's the biggest weakness to everyone in the whole world. Wood style, the most dangerous fucking bloodline out there. Enma says, I see. How would I be able to help my youngest brother when Minato's right now trying to kill all of them? Well, kill not all of them, mostly him. This is where Naruto, he's actually taller than Enma and Enma. He's actually way taller. He's actually also scrawny, but still buff as fuck. He is, well, Naruto, for being 6 years old, he's actually 5'5". And of course, Enma and Menma is like, 4'5". While Enma is actually 4'1". He's a little bit younger and smaller than, well, Menma. But yeah. This is where Menma saying, go, dad, beat him up, kill that demon. This is where Enma kind of has a twitch in his eye, kind of getting annoyed in the tick mark because of how Menma is retarded and stupid at the same time. And this is where, well, Naruto's right now cutting almost in half, killing them all with his 2 blades that he managed to just take. This is where, well, one of his blades just like smashed into one of the Ambu's heads, cracking it, just destroying it. And this is where Naruto only has 1 blade that he got from one of the Ambus. Think of that one time that Madara kind of smashed one of the blades into like a ninja, and it just destroys into that one Ambu's face, or not Ambu, one ninja's face. So yeah, that's what Naruto did. Is there Naruto's ripping through so many people, cutting them down, and yeah. This is where, well, Naruto says, I'm going to kill you all. I hope you guys are ready. This is where, well, Minato says, this demon is annoying. This is where Minato says, Rasengan! And this is where Minato had a big Rasengan, and he smashed it into Naruto, kind of like thinking that will actually kill Naruto. And when the Rasengan dissipates, it does blast away Naruto all the way up in the sky. And of course, this is where Naruto is just blasted off, because the Rasengan dissipate, but also kind of had what's called an arrow to it. It kind of exploded. Minato's arm did kind of get burnt really bad, because that Rasengan actually had a kind of nature chakra to it, wind style. And this is where, well, Minato managed to complete it. This is where Minato had his hand kind of like cuts and all that. Not burnt, cuts. Like Also kind of chakra burnt, because chakra does kind of burn you if you fucked up something. But yeah, This is where he looks around and sees the crater, but also sees no Naruto. He thinking that he shredded Naruto to bits, which he's happy. Well, not wind style. He had a fire style. He managed to add fire style, which he thought he burnt Naruto to crisp. He didn't have cut marks, okay? So yeah, he had just mostly burnt marks. And so well, Enma realized that Naruto didn't die. He was the only one to keep his eyes tracking on Naruto getting blasted away from the leaf ledge all the way towards somewhere else. It's where Enma says, I see. Since Naruto's gone, that means I'll be able to get out also easier. This is where multiple people are kind of congratulating Minato for defeating the demon, for killing the demon, yada yada yada. And this is where, Minato realized that he did it. He killed Naruto after losing about 300 ambus and about a couple of jonins, chunins, no casualties, mostly a lot of death. So yeah. This is where Minato was happy, and this is where Kushina realized that the Nine-Tails will come back. This is where she tells Minato about it. This is where Minato says, damn, you're right. But luckily, we don't have the jar. Damn it. Kumo has it. If we did have that jar, we would have definitely sealed the Nine-Tails in it. We're going to have to make another weapon. This is where Kushina says, okay. This is where, Minato says, by using one of our children. There's no way in hell I'm going to let another child in the leaf village be used as a weapon. This is what Kushina says outright. She's like, what? No. I refuse to let one of my other children be the Nine-Tails in Cherokee. Don't worry, Kushina. They already have 20% of the Nine-Tails in Cherokee. Well, 25 in total. But if we just split it up in between them. This is where Kushina says, no, I refuse. This is where Minato says, but listen, Kushina, they'll be able to control it. The reason why Naruto couldn't control it is because he was a demon. But for other of our other children, like Enma and Menma, they'll be able to control it. Think about it. This is where, Kushina refused and hated Minato. This is where, we go into a 4-year time skip. Minato has been kind of like scared for a while. Is the Nine-Tails gonna reappear or not? This is where, the Nine-Tails did reappear, but this is where the Nine-Tails was kind of invisible to everyone's eye. No one could actually see him, not even the Sharingan. This is where the chakra flowed towards a boy that's already like, he is 10 years old and his oldest brother is 11, but of course he is 10, and this is where he was training outside, just by himself, because he doesn't like anyone near her. Of course, this is where Menma has already become friends in the academy with a girl named Hinata, and actually he's going to start dating her when they're older and all that. Also, will marry her when they're older, but blah, blah, blah. Hinata is more prideful, more arrogant, just like the Hughs, but yeah. Of course, this is where, Enma says, whatever, they can do what the fuck ever. This is where, Enma is right now training and actually, controlling the Nine-Tails power. He can only go up to actually 2 tails. And if he goes up to 3 tails, he will actually strain his body and hurt it more. He only has 25%. Of course, when it comes to the Nine-Tails training with Minato, Namikaze, and his other brother, he shows that he can't control it. While Menma can actually control 1 tail. But really, Enma can control more than 1 tail. He can control 2 tails. But he doesn't want to show that he can control, because he will also be considered a weapon or something. And of course, this is where, Minato decides to just ignore Enma training and decide to focus on Menma, because he heard of Jiraiya, when he was kind of, when Jiraiya was telling him about the prophecy, about a child that would save this world. 1 child, not just both. 1 child that would save this world. And this is where Minato got excited and thought it was actually Menma, because Menma was a prodigy in controlling the 1 tails. But really, Enma was the one to control 2 tails, but he didn't show anything. And he also learned his chains, his mother Uzumaki chains. But instead of being what's it called, actual like green or yellow or gold or anything like that, it was pure red. he smiles. He was like, ooh, I love this color. I love the color crimson red and red. This color is actually my favorite. And also I like purple. Yeah, I loved it. This is where I should also mention Enma does also have a purple chain. He has 2 chain colors, crimson red and purple. Purple allows him to actually do some crazy things. I'll mention them later. But the red actually allows him to actually use hell flames. So yeah. The purple also does allow him to use flames, but they're actually purple. And not, what's it called, just normal flames. This is where Enma was very happy. Now, of course, this is where, well, Naruto, well, not Naruto, Enma. We go back into Enma. Enma was kind of just looking, training still until he gets hit by something. Like something just smashes into him. The seal in his body decides to crack a little bit. Crack, and then broke. This is where Enma was pulled into his mindscape and sees the 25% of, well, Kurama, who is smaller than the one that's actually 100% soul and 50% chakra. This is where Enma says, what is happening here? This is where Kurama, the one that was actually helping, well, Enma kind of control his power a little bit, so he can actually escape the village, because, yeah, kind of said, it seems that the other side, the one that was fully in Naruto, has came back. Why did you came back? Actually, how did you came back? This is where the actual bigger Nine-Tails said, oh, the reason I came back is because Naruto decided to free me out of his body. This is what Enma says, but that would kill him. Oh no, that won't kill him. You see here, Enma, he chose you to be the next, well, strongest vessel. Not to be a weapon, but to actually, well, use my power and destroy this pathetic village to help him in his journey. You realize here, Naruto, also known as Kenpachi, has actually been gathering up people to help him to destroy Konoha. Would you like to join? This is where Enma thinks about it and nods really fast. He says, I will do it. I will help him. He is my younger brother, and I will help my younger brother. This is where, well, the Nine-Tails says, good. Now I'll be fusing with this other Nine-Tails. So, of course, our power can be together, and you can now have 75% and unlock more than just 2 tails, okay? This is where Enma nodded. This is where, well, Kurama says, before I go, there's a special weapon that, well, your brother would love to give you. A special and amazing weapon that was actually originally named Enma. And, well, not Enma, he didn't say Enma. He says this weapon is special for you. And this is why he wants to give it to you when you meet him. It'd be a nice color. It's a nice color. So, the katana, sheath, and, well, yeah, the sheath, and also the, what's it called, handle are kind of purple and gold. You probably will like it. It also has a crimson red on it. This is where Enma says, that will actually be beautiful. He's thinking in his mind, this is where, well, Kurama does fuse with the other one, making them be whole again, somewhat being 75% of the chakra and still 100% of the soul. This is where Enma says, wait, but how did he manage to break the seal? Oh, well, I managed to help him out. I managed to break the seal, unseal the whole thing, well, breaking the seal and all that. And of course, I would manage to get towards, well, this place while being detected by still being in my kind of chakra form when I was let out. Luckily, I only put a little bit of chakra, about 0.1001 chakra into Naruto to show that he doesn't die. But since you don't have a seal no more, this is where Kurama turns into a humanoid figure, and of course has long red hair, red eyes, is a dude. If you are thinking it was a girl, fuck off. I'm not gender bending Kurama because it sounds like a dude. So yeah, has what's called red sandals, and of course he's wearing a basically red kimono. Well, the guy version, okay. So of course, sorry about that. Of course, this is where he also has bandages, kind of like in his like stomach. So yeah, but yeah, this is where this person also have very sharp nails that are red, and this is where he kind of smiles at Enma, and says, "Don't worry, kid. I'll help you train. I'll help you become stronger. strong enough to hold that blade that your brother has actually dearly decided to take care of. And also his daughter will be able to take care of it. Wait, this is where Enma says, wait. He has a wife? But he's only 10, isn't he? Or 9, exactly. Wouldn't he? This is where, well, Kurama says, oh, that's not really his daughter, I would say. He actually got a daughter who was actually pretty younger than him. He decided to take care of her. Not his actual blood biological daughter, but someone that he decides to take care of. So don't worry about it. This is where Enma says, I understand. Then I'll be willing to train with you. This is where Kurama says, good, let's train then. We go into another, what's it called? Well, Enma is right now 11 years, well not 11 years old, Enma's 11, Enma's 10, and Naruto's actually 9, who's actually known as Kenpachi now. And we go into, well, actually Naruto isn't 9, he's actually 10, but he was just a little bit born later from, well, what's it called, Enma, but yeah. Enma was actually the one to be born first, but yeah. He was still kind of like 1 year old when he was kind of being sealed on Naruto, but yeah. But this is where, well, Naruto is now 12, Enma is now 12, and Enma is actually 13. So yeah, this is where, well, everyone is graduating from the academy now. Now, Naruto is actually somewhere else. Enma is now in the village, and he's able to control more of the 9 tails, more than just, well, what's called 2 tails. This is where he's able to control 5 tails and up to 6 tails. 7 tails he gets a little bit out of control, but he managed to stabilize it so it wouldn't look like he's going out of fully control. He's doing it on his mindscape because Kurama said that if he works on his mind, he will figure it out before going into the real life world. So yeah. So this is where, well, Enma does that. This is where he does train with Kurama and even sword type in Kenjutsu. Kurama actually teaches him a special taijutsu that is like for foxes, for like a fox taijutsu, and also a good kenjutsu that actually used to be in his what's called 9-tail club. This is where Enma, he's very okay to actually be controlling the 9-tails. Well, he doesn't control the 9-tails. He actually talks to the 9-tails as an actual person, which Kurama is very interesting with the boy. This is where, well, he can see that Enma actually sees him as an actual person. Same with Kenpachi, also known as Naruto, who actually sees him as a person, as a training partner mostly. But this is where Kurama usually doesn't want to fight him because how madly insane he is half the damn time. But yeah. But this is where, well, Naruto, who is now, what's it called? We will go into the height. Enma is now actual 5'5". He's actually gotten taller. Enma has actually became, well, 5'4", because he's actually smart because he ate too much ramen. This is where, well, Enma's actually taller than Enma. And this is where, well, Naruto is now, well, 6'3", or not 6'3", 6'1". But yeah. This is where, well, you would think Enma would be the youngest, but no, Naruto's the youngest still. This is where, well, everyone is happy to graduate. They were like ready to get the exam ready and all that. While Menma's in the classroom being quiet as hell. He doesn't care about anyone. He cares about one person, which kind of caught his eye, and can see that this girl is nice. Well, nice enough to not care about anyone else. She seems to hate everyone. And when her eyes land on Enma, she kind of just flusters up and kind of shuts up for a little bit. This is where, well, I should also mention what Emma's eyes. Emma's eyes are purple. They were never kind of red. They weren't blue or red or anything. They were just purple, which she thinks is amazing color. Now I should also mention that Emma's hair color is, well, having purple highlights actually. This is where, well, he only managed to unlock that when he was training with Kurama. For some reason, Kurama actually knew the power and extent of what Enma has. And Enma's able to control health flames, of course, easily without the chains. It was actually his natural Kekkei, not the change. The change just helped him out figure out that he's able to control hell flames. This is where, well, he does remember that he read about the name being called Enma, and of course it's, well, the king of hell. And he's wondering if he has a connection to the king of hell. He has been asking Kurama non-stop, which Kurama replies that he doesn't actually know. But if you do have that, then it'd be kind of a more better way. That's where Naruto nodded. That's where, well, Kurama says, not Naruto, Enma nodded, but yeah. That's where Enma sees the girl. The girl has, well, the girl has blue hair, like long blue hair, blue eyes, and of course this is where, well, her hair is actually like kind of a lightish blue. Wait, let me actually think about. So of course this girl has lightish blue hair, and of course blue eyes, like kind of a little bit darker, blue eyebrows. Of course this is where her skin tone is kind of lightish, but of course this is where, well, she's actually 5'5" to be the same height as Enma. But of course, this is where her abilities are actually interesting for Enma. Able to control ice in very potent, powerful ice style. She's actually not from any clan. And of course, her last name is, well, unknown for anyone. But her first name is, I'm gonna call her, Death. Why did that name get up to my name? Oh yeah, I did remember remember my friend telling me about her or something. And stuff being from some anime that he told me to watch, but I didn't care. So I'm just gonna call her Esdef. So yeah. So of course this is where she's kind of like doesn't really care about the academy and seems to really not care that much. She doesn't try. Just like Enma doesn't really try that much. He tries a good just 50%. He mostly trains while Kurama, and of course train hard so he can catch up to his brother's speed. This is where, well, what's it called? Enma is right now training really hard with Kurama in his mindscape. And it's right now, no one actually can know this. Also, my voice is kind of anyway. So of course, this is where Enma keep doing that. While Enma is over here talking with Sasuke, who Sasuke lost his whole clan. Hinata, who Hinata is actually his kind of girlfriend or whatever. Also, his what they call other friends like Kiba, Sakura, Ino, all the annoying people you would thought of. Enma's actually friends with a couple of people. Not much people. He's friends with kind of Shino because he's quiet. And Shino actually does try and trying to get stronger. While those people that are friends with Enma, or not Enma, are actually just talk too much shit and actually don't have the strength to back it up. While Enma does train with Shino sometimes to kind of get stronger in taijutsu and all that. But yeah, he's also kind of friends with Shikamaru to actually get smarter because he knows that Shikamaru is extremely smart. So of course they be playing shogi so many times that even Shikamaru is impressed with Enma's speed and trying to learn really fast. Of course, this is where Enma can actually think what's called 4 steps ahead, and of course can easily be able to kind of counteract Shikamaru, but Shikamaru can still think ahead more than what's called Enma can. So yeah, of course he's also friends with Choji, and Enma does eat a couple times at like the Akimichi's place, and he does have a stomach to really eat. So yeah. Besides, he shares his body with Kurama, so he does eat a lot, just like, well, Choji, which they always has a contest in who can eat really more. So yeah, so mostly Enma does kind of have friends like those. Now Esdef is one who just be really quiet. This is where, well, everyone has to take a seat now because it's the test now, and of course this is where well, everyone is kind of sitting everywhere, and of course this is where, well, Enma realized that Shino is not sitting, well, at his usual spot because he's actually sitting further away from people because there's a lot of people here. And of course, Enma realized that Shino already has someone next to him. And of course, this girl is actually another Aburame. And she's actually talking to Shino while Shino's kind of like nodding sometimes. Shino doesn't really talk much even in his clan. So yeah. besides Albarami's burning talk, but yeah. This is where Enma realized that the only spot that was left was Esdeath's other spot. This is where he decides to sit next to her, and this is where Esdeath looks at him just once, glances once, and doesn't really care. This is where, well, Enma just also glances a little bit, but this is where the test begins. And this is where Enma is really fast in like actually answering all these questions, but decides to kind of try a little bit. He doesn't want to be like put onto a team with his brother, Sasuke Uchiha, and Sasuke Harno. They are all annoying to him, even Hinata. Kiba and Izuka, he'd rather not be put on a team like that. Because he was actually told by a messenger bird, a messenger bird that he got before going back into the academy when he was 12. Because he was actually going to go rogue when he was 12, but this is where he got stopped by a bird that was actually sent by, well, Naruto to not go rogue. Because Enma, well, needs to still get stronger and still learn a lot of jutsus. Because he wants to fight him when he gets older a little bit. Or is kind of at Chunin rank level. This is where Enma kind of grumbles, but yeah. He wants to get the sword already from, well, Kenpachi, also known as his brother, Naruto. But he doesn't know when he's gonna get it, but yeah. This is where Enma, he just decides to kind of do the test, get the lowest minimum grade that he can get before kind of being put on another team that he really doesn't give a shit much, but yeah. Because he mostly wants to just train with Kurama. So if he gets put on a team that has the lowest chance to get C-rank missions, he'd be good because he'd be just training his mind and giving like a little bit of skills to his Jonin sensei, showing that he's decent enough and should not be put back into the academy. So yeah. This is where, well, Esdeath can actually see this. Every time she glances straight towards Enma's paper, she can see that Enma actually mistakes and actually put one of the answers correct. And this is where he erases it really fast, change it to just some random bullshit, and then just realize, this is going to be harder than I thought. I know all these answers, they're so fucking easy. What, did they give me the fucking easiest paper out here? Fuck. This is where Esdeath, she can see that Enma's doing the exact same thing like she's doing because she doesn't want to be put on a team with the Uchiha or the other brother of Enma. So yeah, being what's called Menma, but yeah. This is where, well, she decides to copy Enma's answers, and of course Mizuki and what's it called Ruka didn't actually see any of their test answers until they do the physical. So of course this is where Ruka's like grading papers, and this is where he realized that Esdeath and Menma could have been copying each other, or they got the same answer and they got the lowest grade. This is where Ruka says, I guess they'll be good enough to be put on a team together? Huh. I don't know what's happening, but okay. Because, well, we go into the training exams, and of course this is where, well, Enma is right now just doing the bare minimum, just like, well, being next to Shikamaru and kind of just walking. Esdeath is also walking next to Enma, and also Shikamaru and Choji, and of course they're not even running, they're just like doing their 3 laps by just walking. This is where Mizuki says, okay, we'll go on to the next step. This is where it was shuriken and kunai throwing. And Menma just decided to throw like 2 shurikens in together and miss 1 shuriken. Throw 3 kunais but miss them all and says, oops. This is where Mizuki says, huh. Okay. This is where, well, the next couple of like physical kind of things was good enough for Menma, or not Menma, Enma. And of course, I'm gonna keep messing up both of their names because I just realized I fucked up. Menma and Enma kind of sound the same. But yeah, of course, this is where, well, Enma is just like doing everything the bare minimum, and of course, this is where Esdeath does copy him because she realized that if she's put on a team with Enma, and Enma is kind of like barely trying, she will actually be happy. She doesn't care who else gets put on the team if it's not his brother, not anyone else, because they're quite annoying to her. This is where, well, Enma realizes what Esdeath is doing, which Enma does just not care. He doesn't ask. He doesn't really ask her why she's doing this or not. And this is where, well, this is where Enma does the shadow clone perfectly. He does 2 clones, good enough. He does Because he still has a large amount of chakra, but Kurama managed to help him out to figure out for an actual, like, well, not Kurama, it was Kushina that decided to teach her children an actual physical clone. Because they have way too much chakra, and she knows that because she had the Nine Tails, and she was an Uzumaki, so she knew what her children were capable of doing. So, yeah. So, of course, this is where Ruka says, okay, do me a substitution. This is where Enma decides to substitute into, well, not first Hokage. He substituted into a man that the first Hokage decided to fight. And this is Madara Uchiha. But, of course, he didn't change his eye color to red, so, of course, it was purple still. Which, Uruka says, that's scary, but how did you get a picture? I found it in the books. You guys should really keep your books checked because I found that picture. Okay, I guess you didn't know what color his eyes were, which they're red because of the Sharingan and not purple. Yeah, I still can't realize to change my eye color. Enma said, "This is where Aruka says, good enough. You still pass. Also, before you go, do the substitution." He does the substitution, and of course he substituted with a piece of paper. Right next to, not a piece of paper. He substituted with one of the headbands and grabbed one of the headbands off the desk and say, "Thank you, Ruka." This is where Ruka says, "Huh? Wait, you can do..." Okay, I'm not gonna ask questions. Your substitution is good enough. Your clones are good enough. It's just your Henjutsu is the only thing that's not good. So please work on that eye color. This is where Enma says, "Well do." This is where Enma walks away. He got his headband. Everyone is getting their headbands. As if she does make ice clones instead of normal clones because she can't actually do normal clones like the what's called illusion. So she does ice clones, which Ruka says good enough. What's called substitution. She substitutes with the ice clone. She then does the Henjutsu, which she transforms into Enma. And of course, her eye color is also kind of messed up. This is where, well, that's just because she kind of sucks and trying to figure out what kind of color is Emma's eyes. So, of course, this is where he, Aruka says, yeah, good enough. This is where, well, Emma was kind of just sitting down. Of course, this is where she got the headband, and she's kind of just having her head down a little bit, while her arm is kind of resting up on her, like, face, on her cheek mostly, and it's kind of just bored out of her mind. This is where Enma, he's right now just having both of his hands crossed, and is right now trying in his mindscape. So yeah, of course, this is where Esther sighs, and then says a word towards where Enma to see if he's actually hearing. So, Enma, it seems that you became a ninja. Do you think we're gonna be in a team together? This is where, since Enma was kind of training his mindscape, he did hear the sound, which he snaps out of his mindscape and says, "Huh? You say something?" This is where she says, "You weren't listening. You don't listen at all, do you? You do the bare minimum, making sure that you're close to bottom last, but not as close to bottom last, because you knew that if you were close to bottom last, you would be put on a team with your brother and other people." That's where Emma smiles and says, "Wow, you're actually a brilliant girl, aren't you?" Which, no, that's not the case. That's just because I am very, very stupid. Yeah. This is where Esther kind of just narrow her eyes and says, "Really?" This is where Emma says, "Okay, then why were you copying me if you realized that I was doing something stupid like that?" She says, the exact same thing you're trying to do. Avoid the Uchiha. Avoid the Harano and avoid your brother. This is where, well, Emma says, was it that obvious? Shit. This is where Steph says, it wouldn't be obvious for a normal stupid kid around here, but it would be easy for me to spot. Because, here, I don't like saying any information, but I was trained from a young age, so yeah. This is where she says, I feel like you were also trained from a young age, probably from your father or mother. This is where Enma says, yeah, you can say that. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can say something like that. This is where Kurama says, "Aw, I'm so happy you called me dad." This is where Kurama says, "Shut up, Kurama. No, you want Kurama? I see you as a mother there." This is where Kurama says, "Oh, shut the fuck up, little brat. Shut the fuck up." This is where, well, Emma says, I guess you figured that out. This is where SF says, yeah, I'm not stupid. So this is where she decides to become quiet after a while. And this is where Enma decides to go back and train into his mindscape. But we go into somewhere far away. Somewhere that's, well, somewhere in a palace in the land of, well, in the palace and the land of, well, the mist. Sorry if I kind of paused there. I just realized that I had to do something after this, but yeah, let me check. Yeah, in a little bit I'm gonna have to go, but first, let me go back into the place. Well, I was last left off, but let me go back into it. Okay, we go into a palace in the land of the Mist Village. Well, mostly the Mist Village. In the water country. This is where, well, a palace that a leader was there kind of trying to portray Yagare, but is now killed. A man that's standing over his body. Well, a couple of people are standing over his body. A man with an executioner blade is right now, well, mostly killing a bunch of, like, the water guards that were actually trying to protect the what's called daimyo. This is where, well, the person that was standing over the Miss Daimyo was this man with spiky black hair. Had a couple yellow highlights on top of his, like, black hair, but had bells on it also. And of course, every time he like shakes his head, the ring of the bells goes ring, bing, bing, bing. So yeah, this is where, well, a girl next to him who was actually what's it called? When Naruto was 10, she was 5. But now Naruto's 12 and now she's 7. So of course she's right now on top of, well, the person's shoulder. And of course it is Naruto. Naruto with a sword that's all jagged up and right now covered in bandages. And it's very long. This is his Shinkai. He found out how to bring it out. And this is where, well, he has strong spiritual pressure. But not just that. He doesn't work for the Mizukage named Yagare. He killed the Mizukage a long time ago. And now the Mizukage who is actually running that place is Mei. And Mei just decides to listen to Naruto's orders. Because Naruto's extremely smart. But doesn't show that much. But of course, this is where, after, well, what's it called? Zabuza killing multiple guards, he says, "Hey, Kenpachi." This is where Naruto looks up and says, "Yeah? We got more visitors?" "No, I'm just wondering. I did remember you telling me that you had a younger brother. Is that true?" This is where, well, oh shit. Sorry, I saw a bug and that bug was kind of fucking ugly as hell, so I killed it. Sorry if you heard it in the background. But of course, where, well, Naruto says, "Oh, my younger brother? Are you?" "Well, I am the youngest, if you're wondering." This is where, well, Zabuza says, "Youngest? Bullshit. There's no way in hell you're the youngest." "I am. I'm actually 10 years, well, 1 year younger, 1 second younger than my middle brother, and, well, not 1 second, like 1 hour younger than my middle brother, and 1 year younger than my oldest brother." That's where Kenpachi says, well, not Kenpachi, Zabuza says, "Oh, hell no. Then how tall are they?" This is where Naruto says, "Don't know. I haven't actually seen them for a while." You see here, when I got blasted away from the Leaf Village by that bastard Minato Namikaze, and since you found me, well, not found me, since the revolution found me in that one ditch and helped me up, I don't know how tall they were. From the last time I remember, I was 5'5" when I was actually, well, what's it called, 6 years old. This is where Zabuza's like, "Oh, hell no, you were that tall? For being only 6 years old? That's fucking crazy." And if I can remember right, my brothers were from, well, I think the oldest was 4'9", while the youngest was like 4'5". This is where he says, "And you were the tallest? And are you sure you're not the oldest? This is where Naruto smiles and says, of course not. If I was, they probably would still hate me. This is where it's always like, shit, kid. It's a tough life. But you're now here in the Mist Village. And you're helping May and, well, the Mist Village. A good deed, I guess. This is where Naruto smiles and says, I guess so. But my brother will be coming soon. I'll be coming for him very soon. Well, not my younger brother, my middle brother. So, if he's actually taller than me, then it won't be such a surprise. But if he's shorter than me, it'll be kind of a surprise. This is where Zabuza kind of smiles and says, I guess so. But you should probably leave Yoruichi with what's it called, Junko. Because Junko has been very, very angry at you for always taking her on a mission like this. Junko and Hakin. So yeah. This is where, well, Naruto says, fuck, I forgot about those two. This is where Zabuza says, yeah, you can forget about those two in the middle of murdering the water daimyo. Who cares? Let's just go. Naruto, he goes, and this is where, well, Yoruichi says, Kenny. But yeah. But this is where I'm going to leave it off for part 2 of What If Naruto was Reincarnation Zaraki Kenpachi and was neglected. Now, I know that half of you are going to mention, what is the special blade that Enma is going to get from Naruto? It's going to be a surprise, which you probably already know where it's going to be from because I kind of did detail in what it is. So yeah, if you don't know what it is, go watch One Piece and go all the way towards Zoro getting a sword called Enma. Yeah. But other than that, have a nice potato day, potato night, potato seed, potato, and bye. I guess I already said the name, but yeah, bye.